These are the richest black families in the United Kingdom. It has been exhilarating to see black people owning well-to-do enterprises across the world, despite the unfair political attacks they tend to face in many places. In the UK, a few black people are making big waves in many sectors of the economy. Entertainment, business, sports and technology are producing cash and creating jobs. In the last Sunday Times Rich List, which is a compilation of the 1,000 wealthiest people in the UK, black people made up less than 1% of the list. For the first time since the financial meltdown in 2008, the combined net worth of the 1,000 wealthiest persons decreased. Inventor Sir James Dyson is now the richest person in the UK, according to the list, which includes 85 persons from ethnic minority backgrounds. While 81 of the known white people on the list are Asian, only 4 are black. Below are the Black Britons who featured on the Sunday Times Rich List of 2020 and their net worth together with other successful rich black families in the UK. Without much ado, let's get to the list in no particular order. 1. Adam Afrie Family. Adam Afrie, born August 4, 1965, is a British politician and businessman who has served as the Member of Parliament for Windsor since 2005. He is a member of the Conservative Party. Afrie is chairman of Connect Support Services, an IT support company he set up in 1993. He owned 2/3 of De Havilland, a political monitoring company, which was sold to publishers EMAP in 2005 for £18 million. He was also a regional finalist in the 2003 Ernest and Young Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. He was a governor of the Museum of London, a trustee of the museum in Docklands, and a director of Policy Exchange, a centre-right policy body. Afrie is a stakeholder of Axon Media, a content marketing business which produces content for clients. The company incorporates brands such as Content Plus, NewsReach, Direct News, and Real Content. Axon turned over £9.4 million in 2011 and made a pre-tax profit of £1.3 million. Afrie is the largest shareholder of the firm, and he and his fellow directors split dividends of £2.2 million in 2010 and 11, and shared directors' pay of £3.6 million over the last 5 years. His net worth is estimated at £13 million. 2. Natty Kersh Family. Natty Kersh was born on the 6th of January 1932. He's a South African-born Swazi billionaire. He carries a Swazi passport. However, he also has residency status in the United Kingdom and the United States. He heads the Kersh Group, which holds a majority stake in New York State cash and carry operation Jetro Holdings. Owner of Restaurant Depot and Jetro Cash and Carry. The US-based Jetro Holdings, which owns the restaurant supply companies Jetro Cash and Carry and Restaurant Depot, is the main source of Natty Kersh's wealth. Kersh owns 70% of the business, which provides wholesale goods to American bodegas, little shops, and eateries. In his home Swaziland, where he established a corn milling company in 1958, Kersh gained his first significant wealth. In South Africa under apartheid, he grew into wholesale food distribution before moving on to supermarkets and commercial real estate development. His wealth is estimated to be £4.1 billion. 3. James Cleverly Family. On September 4, 1969, James Spencer Cleverly, a British politician and Army Reserve officer, was born. He has served as Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs since 2022. He's a member of the Conservative Party and has represented Braintree in Essex since 2015. He served as Secretary of State for Education from July to September 2022. He served as Ben Elliott's co-chairman of the Conservative Party from 2019 to 2020. He served as Bexley and Bromley's representative in the London Assembly from 2008 to 2016. After Boris Johnson was appointed Prime Minister in July 2019, Cleverly was promoted to the cabinet as a minister without portfolio. He served as Ben Elliott's co-chairman of Conservative Party from 2019 to 20. Cleverly was dismissed from the cabinet in the 2020 cabinet shuffle and appointed Minister of State for the Middle East and North Africa. He served as Minister of State for the Middle East, North Africa and North America beginning in December 2021 before being promoted Minister of State for Europe and North America in February 2022. His net worth is estimated to be £11 million. 4. Sir Damon Buffini Family. Sir Damon Buffini, born to an African-American serviceman and a British woman, was a founding partner of private equity business Permira and was chairman and managing partner from 1997 to 2010. He ranks 4th on the Sunday Times annual Rich list with a net worth of £127 million. He is a businessman and philanthropist, creating the Buffini Child Foundation with his wife in 2005. Buffini was also a non-executive board member of SVG Capital plc, a renowned British private equity and investment management corporation headquartered in London. The businessman is a trustee of the Royal Anniversary Trust, which administers the Queen's Anniversary Prizes for higher and further education. Recently ranked number 3 in the Times Power 100, a list of most influential business leaders, Buffini was last July made chair of the Cultural Recovery Board, an administrative body in the UK that manages the Cultural Recovery Fund, which seeks to protect UK arts and heritage assets amid the pandemic. He was knighted in 2016 for his humanitarian and voluntary activities. 5. Strife Masigiwa Family. Masigiwa is of Zimbabwean descent but with a British citizenship and made his money in telecoms, with a majority participation in the publicly traded Econet Wireless Zimbabwe, as well as telecoms, fintech, and power distribution ventures abroad in Africa. As far as the Sunday Times list is concerned, aside from Masigiwa, the richest black person from the UK on this list was Ibrahim, who was estimated to have a fortune of £859 million. 6. Mohammed Ibrahim Family. Sudanese-born British entrepreneur and philanthropist who founded one of the largest mobile phone companies operating in Africa and who created the multi-million-dollar Ibrahim Prize for achievement in African leadership. Ibrahim was named first in the annual power list of the most important Black Britons in 2008, and he is recognized with transforming the continent and being the most powerful black guy in Britain. Ibrahim worked for British Telecom for a while before serving as the technical director for Cellnet, a British telecom subsidiary. He established the consulting and software firm MSI in 1989, and the Marconi company acquired it in 2000. The company's initial concentration was on aiding the cellular sector in developing its networks, but in the late 90s, it turned to mobile phones. At the time of the company's sale, MSI's 800 employees owned around 30% of the stock according to Ibrahim. He provided shares as a type of bonus. The Sunday Times Rich ranks him as the 194th richest person in the UK. His estimated net worth is £1 billion. 7. Lewis Hamilton Family. Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton is a British racing driver currently competing in Formula 1 for Mercedes. In Formula 1, Hamilton has won a joint record 7 World Drivers' Championship titles and holds the records for the most wins, pole positions, and podium finishes, among others. Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton was born on 7th January 1985. The world-famous Formula 1 champion Lewis Hamilton is partially of Caribbean parentage, and who the Sunday Times says has a fortune of £260 million. 8. Valerie Moran Family. From Forbes to CNN, BBC to Live in Studio with Sky News, and an article in OK Magazine, Valerie Moran's tale of diversity and inclusion has received media attention. She coordinated the distribution of the equivalent of 200,000 school lunches to malnourished children in Mali, in partnership with MasterCard and the United Nations World Food Programme. According to the Sunday Times 2019 edition of the Rich List, Valerie is the wealthiest black lady in the UK. In the feature's 31st edition history, Valerie was the only black woman to ever reach the list. Since then, she has made frequent appearances in the newspaper, receiving the moniker UK's Oprah from a Financial Times reader. Valerie Moran, who along with her Irish husband, Noel Moran, has a fortune of £200 million based on the majority ownership of a financial technology company called Prepaid Financial Services. 9. Stephen Bartlett Family. Another example of someone who proves you don't need a degree to succeed in business is Stephen Bartlett, the youngest dragon to ever appear on Dragon's Den, and the creator of Social Chain, a premier social marketing company and media publisher. At the age of 22, after abandoning school, Bartlett founded and introduced Social Chain and Media Chain from a bedroom in Manchester. In barely 5 years, Bartlett had taken his company public, commanding a market value of £200 million. He's the host of Europe's best business podcast. Stephen Bartlett's net worth has been valued at £68 million. Hey there, Displorers! In order to continue with the rich black families in this list, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. 10. Reece Wabara Family. Reece Wabara is an English businessman and former professional footballer who played as a defender. He is also a former England U20 international. After his contract with the defending Premier League winners Manchester City was voluntarily ended in 2014, Reece Wabara, a former football player who is now an entrepreneur, launched the sports luxe clothing line Manière de Voir. Wabara has expanded his multi-gendered fashion company to earn £30 million in revenue and sells to over 95 countries despite never having attended a university. Wabara was also listed on the Forbes on the 30 Europe retail and e-commerce list. His net worth is estimated to be at £26 million. 11. Keke Oniwinde Family. Keke Oniwinde is a British former javelin thrower. Unlike the other entrepreneurs on this list, Oniwinde can also claim to have represented Team GB. The former javelin thrower, who also has a 2:1 in economics from the University of Nottingham and has previously interned at Goldman Sachs, is the co-founder of the BYP network. Often dubbed the LinkedIn for black professionals, the BYP network raised over $1 million in crowdfunding in 2020 and grew the size of its team tenfold. Oniwinde was also recognized in the Forbes 30 under 30 list in 2019. Her net worth is estimated at £1,446,100. 12. Timothy Armour Family. In his second year of university studying computer science, Timothy started FunByte after seeing how marketing to Gen Z was broken. Fast forward 4 years, FunByte is a 65-person company helping brands like the government, McDonald's, and Nike to win the hearts of Gen Z. Timothy Armour launched the multi-award-winning influencer marketing agency FunByte barely 5 years after he founded and sold a social media company at the age of 17. Nike and Deliveroo are just few among other brands that FunByte has assisted in reaching Gen Z audiences. As a result of the pandemic, the agency's staff more than doubled, from 27 to 57, helping Armour to land a spot on the Forbes 30 under 30 list for 2021. He's worth £860,356. 13. Rick Lewis Family. There's 2 things to immediately pick up about Rick Lewis. 1. He's bloody tall. A smart navy suit and a full head of hair enhances his polished, self-assured appeal and presidential appearance. Being expressed by the founding partner of Tristan Capital Partners, the largest black-owned and black-run real estate investment management in Britain. Such initial views are extremely understandable. He is a president, but only in professional sense. He decides which positions to fill. He does not run for office. As you might expect, Berkeley Square in Mayfair is home to a number of very affluent properties. After much anticipation, Lewis has finally been chosen as the most influential black person in Britain by the Power List. The dual citizen of the US and UK has long been listed in the annual roundup, but he has never taken first place. He now joins other awardees such as political activist Gina Miller, author Mallory Blackman, and Credit Suisse CEO Tidjane Thiam, to name a few. His net worth is estimated within £1 to £2.5 million. 14. Bim Afolami Family. Famous politician Bim Afolami was born in the United Kingdom on February 11, 1986. Afolami was born and raised in Crowthorne, Berkshire. His father, Samuel, is a Nigerian consultant doctor in the NHS who moved to the UK in his early 20s. His mother is a pharmacist. Afolami was educated at Bishopsgate School, Eton College and University College, Oxford, where he read modern history, served as librarian of the Oxford Union Society, and played football for the university team. Since the 2017 general election, he has represented the Hitchin and Harpenden seats in Parliament. Afolami was appointed in November 2021 as Parliamentary Private Secretary to the Secretary of State for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport, Nadine Dorries, and served in this role until his appointment as Vice Chairman of the Conservative Party for Youth in February 2022. His net worth amounts to £4 million. 15. Clive Iron Calder Family. Clive Iron Calder, born on 13 December 1946, is a South African-born British billionaire, record executive, and businessman, primarily known for co-founding the Zomba Group with Ralph Simon and its subsidiary Jive Records. Calder started his first record company in 1971 in South Africa with Ralph Simon. By 1975, Calder and Simon had relocated to London and established Zomba as an artist and producer management company. By 1978, Zomba had expanded to include music publishing and opened offices in New York City. In 1981, Calder and Simon formed their first record label, Jive, and Calder began to create a name for Jive as an important outlet for hip-hop and rap music, with the help of new hire Barry Weiss. In May 2020, the Elmer Group of Foundations, which was founded by Calder and supports children's health and education initiatives around the world, pledged $107 million to fight COVID-19 in Africa. Around $26 million of this was allocated to fight the pandemic in South Africa, his birth country. His estimated net worth is at £2.3 billion. There you have it, Explorers. Those were the richest Black British or African British families in the United Kingdom. Thanks for watching. Remember to turn on the notification button and subscribe so you won't be left out when we upload a new video.